eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh, I eat well, and I grow strong. Tomorrow, I will be at the table when company comes, and nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I, too, sing America. A call to worship. Lord, we are looking for you.
Come and see.
Lord, we are seeking true life.
Come and see.
Our opening hymn is 519. Lift every voice.
know the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on this Transfiguration Sunday. We come together just a few days before Ash Wednesday, and we give God praise, honor, and glory. I want to keep in mind the Boozer family. Brother Boozer went through surgery on this past week, but he's doing well, and he's back home at this point, which we give God thanks for that. Are there other prayer joys and concerns that you may have that we can share with one another? I invite you to lift up names, lift up situations, lift up your joys this morning.
Corona Powers, Garcelle Hill, Curican.
Amen. Are there others? Amen.
Pray for Freddie Gima.
Thank you, yes.
Ruth H.
Amen. Amen.
Aldrin.
Thank you.
Dan Jake.
Amen. Yes.
Alabama.
Amen.
The Griffin of Phoenix Valley.
Carter Jeffrey's family. Amanda and her family. Those struggling with cancer. Peace and justice in our world.
Ministry of the Methodist Church.
Amen. Let's keep the Florida Conference and United Methodist Church in our prayers today as they go through some shake-ups. We know that God is good. Let's pray together. Lord, here we are in the midst of your house. In the house, not just this church building, but this body of Christ. These people you've called to be your own. We come, Lord, and we come with faith each and every Sunday. Every day we wake up by your grace and by your power. So we move, Lord, and have our beings ever in you. We live so that your word may live in us, and through us your word may go out into the world. Lord, you are so good and faithful that if we don't praise you, the rocks will have to cry out because you are just so good and so mighty and powerful. So it's by your mercy, Lord, that we're able to love one another because you first loved us. It's by your power, Lord, that we're able to forgive each other because through your Son, our sin has been forgiven and sin no longer rules us. Lord, it's by your memory that we're able to say that we have a hope for the future to come because you do not forget that you love us. Mm-hmm. No matter where we are, no matter where we go, no matter how we mess up, Lord, your love does not go away. So this day we say, anoint us all, Lord, choir, word, and congregation, that we might be able to live into your word and take the good news into a world that is hungry for something to bring healing. This is our prayer in your mighty and powerful name, Lord. Amen. Just a couple of announcements that, of course, our Fat Tuesday celebration will be this Tuesday, 6 o'clock here at the church in the fellowship hall. We invite you all to come and participate. And the next day, Ash Wednesday, we're going to have an imposition of ashes here at St. Matthew's Church. That service begins at 6:30. We invite you to come to receive your ashes for Ash Wednesday. Please note in the bulletin our various announcements, including the book study beginning on the second Wednesday in March, that we're going to begin our book study on why we're polarized. I invite you to be a part of that study as we look at our nation, our world, and our church, and ask the question is, why are we so separated one from another? The other announcements we need to hear this morning. All right. Who's going to bring local Black history this morning? Okay.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
For your edification, I have the theme for Black History Month that Carter G. Woodson Association, and as you know, Carter G. Woodson is the father of Black history, and his association that we call ASALA, which means the study of African American history and life, each year comes up with a theme. And this year's theme is African Americans and the Vote. And if you would like a copy The usher has them, and just raise your hand, she'll give you a copy of it. I decided I want to share with you something from my childhood. You heard one poem already by Langston Hughes. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about these four poets that I intend to read an excerpt from their work. Paul Laurence Dunbar was an American poet. He was born in 1873 in Dayton, Ohio. And he died on February the 1st in Joplin, Missouri. Okay. James Butler Johnson was born on June the 17th, 1871, and he died on January 26, 1938. And we best know him for being the author of Lift Every Voice and Sing, which was composed with his brother, J. Rosamond Johnson. He was also the first executive director of NAACP. He wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing as a tribute for the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Phyllis Wheatley is known as the first African woman. She was not African American. She was the first African woman who published a book of poems. She was born in West Africa, and she was sold into slavery at the age of 8 or 9 years old and transported to North America, where she was purchased by the Wheatley family. They realized her talents and taught her to read and write, and therefore she wrote a poem. And then the last author is Renate Nia Ebo. And this is a poet of purpose, and he's written poetry for over 40 years. He's a self-published author, and he also contributed works to Chicken Soup of the Soul for African Americans, and he's best known for his poem, Lord, Why Did You Make Me Black, which was published in 1994. This is Phyllis Wheatley's poem on being brought from Africa to America. 'Twas mercy brought me from my pagan land, taught my benight soul to understand that there is a God, that there is a Savior too. Once I redemption neither sought nor knew. Some view my sable race with scornful eyes. Their color is diabolic dead. Remember, Christians, Negroes, blacks, black as Cain, may be refined and join the angelic train. That's Phyllis Wheatley. Now, my dialect is not very good, but this is a little bit of Paul Laurence Dunbar's In the Morning. Lies, lies, bless the Lord. Don't you know the days, boy? If you don't get up, you scamp, there's going to be trouble in this here camp. Think I'm going to let you sleep all day while I make your board and keep? Don't put it how you do. That's a put it how you do. Don't you have me? Lies, you. And then from Langston Hughes, The Negro Mother. And I encourage you to go and read these poems in their fullness. And you probably haven't heard them for a long time. But The Negro Mother starts as this. Children, I come back today to tell you a story of the long, dark way that I had to climb, that I had to know, in order that the race might live and grow. Look at my face, dark as night, yet shining like the sun with love's true light. I am the dark girl who crossed the Red Sea, carrying in my body the seed of the free. I am the woman who worked in the fields, bringing the cotton and the corn to yield. I am the one who labored as a slave, beaten and mistreated for the work that I gave. Children sold away from me. I am a husband sold too. No safety, no love, no respect was I due. And then James Weldon Johnson, this was a favorite of mine as a child. And God, the creation, and God stepped out on space, and he looked around and said, I'm lonely. I'll make me a world. As far as the eye of God could see, darkness covered everything. Blacker than 100 midnights, down in the cypress swamp. Then God smiled, and the light broke. And the darkness rolled up on one side, and the light stood shining on the other. And God said, that's good. And then from Be Encouraged, I'll start where God answers. God answers, why did I make you black? Why did I make you black? Get off your knees and look around. Tell me what you see. I didn't make you in the image of darkness. I made you in the likeness of me. I made you the color of coal, from which beautiful diamonds are formed. I made you from the color of oil, the black gold that keeps people warm. I made you from the rich dark earth that can grow the food you need. Your color's the same as the panther's, known for her beauty and her speed. Your color the same as the black stallion, a majestic animal is he. I didn't make you in the image of darkness. I made you in the image of me. All the colors of the heavenly rainbow can be found throughout every nation. And when all these colors were blended well, you came to be my greatest creation. I hope you'll take time and read the full poems, and I do have a copy up here, because even though the spoken word now is a lot of fun, it's the richness of the poems of our struggle and the words of our struggle that have brought us to where we are today. Thank you.
Oh, well, do we have any first-time guests in the church this morning? Do you have any first-time guests? And so we invite you to stand so we can see you and give God thanks. Any first-time guests? I don't see anybody standing. How about we all get up, greet one another? Tell somebody you love them this morning. Good morning, everybody. Bless you, keep you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. King.
Good morning, good morning.
How you doing?
All right, all right.
I guess we're going to go fill into our offering.
This offering have St. Matthew's. And the 3 P's of our offering is that what you give is private. No one knows what's in your heart as far as why you choose to give. We know what the Bible tells us, but we don't necessarily always do what the Bible says. The second P is public. We are in a public place, but we can lift up our offerings, and everyone sees that you are giving. And then the last one is that it's profound, because God can take the smallest gift and do magnificent things with it. If we could read our stewardship verse. The generous will prosper. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Let us pray. Dear Father, we simply say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to give. You know what's in our hearts. You know what we have to give. And you know how you intend to use it for the magnification of your kingdom. Thank you for these blessings. Amen. The next day, again, John was standing with two of his disciples, and he looked at Jesus as he walked and said, "Behold, the Lamb of God." The two disciples heard him and said this, and they followed and heard this. The two disciples heard him and said this, and they followed Jesus. Jesus turned and saw them following, and said to them, "What do you seek?" And they said to him, "Rabbi, where are you staying?" He said to them, "Come and see." They came and saw where he was staying, and they stayed with him that day. For it was about the 10th hour. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his brother Simon and said to him, "We have found the Messiah." He brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "So you are Simon, the son of John. You will be called Cephas," which means Peter. The word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God. Please be seated.
The still and I'm glad to be born.
gathered in Barnard Park to take people to early voting today. Souls for the polls today, starting at Barnard Park at 12:30, I believe it begins. I think the actual voting day is next Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's the actual day of vote is next Tuesday. So we want to make sure that we get to those polls and make our wishes known as we vote. Also, I forgot to mention Brother Thurman Guy lost his sister on this past week, so we also want to keep him in prayer. Let's pray together as we come now to God in spirit and truth. Lord, you are good and faithful, true and righteous. You make us right by your own love for us. So come now, Lord, and have your own way. You are the potter and we are your clay. Amen. We're going to continue our sermon series on Christian hospitality, or also called radical hospitality. And today, we're going to examine what it means to develop a ministry of second place. A ministry of second place. Now, that sounds funny in our culture. A golfer is famous for saying this. I think he was the first golfer to win over $1 million in a year. He said, who among you wants to be runner-up? And then he said, who remembers who comes in second? In our culture, coming in number one has a high value. We root for our teams to be number one. We spend a whole lot of money to see them become number one. We go crazy trying to make them number one. We form tribes and groups so that my tribe can win over your tribe so we can be number one. So when I start talking about a ministry of second place, it sounds countercultural, and it is. It sounds almost like a sin. Why would anybody want to develop a ministry coming in second place? But please understand what I'm saying. When I say a ministry of second place, I'm not saying you do second place work. You do the work within you that is the best that you can do, so that as you offer your best work, you can contribute to the world in which you live. I'm not talking about coming behind somebody because you're a female and they're male, or because you're black and because they're white, or because you come from some country, not ours. I'm not talking about that kind of second place. Those are issues of justice. What I'm talking about is developing a ministry where Jesus comes first. And because Jesus comes first, we allow God to do what God needs to do in the world. We don't step in the way. I was listening to a man talk the other day. He was a right-winger Christian, an evangelical whose father was instrumental in getting the right-wing evangelicals to choose abortion and homosexuality as their top issues to be campaigned against. He has since changed his heart and mind, and he realizes what he did and what his father did was not of God. And so today, he talks about right-wing evangelicalism, and he talks about it as a people who have lost their way because they want to believe a certain thing, no matter what it was. They want to believe that Israel has to be the country in place so that when Israel has its place, the second coming is going to come. And they say no matter what, we need to have somebody in office who will help Israel be Israel and follow this way no matter what kind of character that person has. In essence, he's saying it doesn't matter what facts come their way. It doesn't matter what truth comes their way. They believe what they're going to believe. And even if their leader is an adulterer, a liar, a cheat, they will accept that kind of leader as long as that leader gets them to where they believe Jesus will come again. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That's why he says that right-wing evangelicals don't matter about the character of our president. They will vote for him and uplift him and keep him in office as long as they see that he's doing the things that he needs to do to make sure Jesus comes again. In other words, we gonna win. And we gonna tell Jesus when Jesus needs to come. By making sure that there's a nation of Israel, by making sure that abortion is where abortion is supposed to be, by making sure that homosexuality is where homosexuality is supposed to be, by making sure that we got judges in place so when those judges make their rulings, they can make it in the way we think they ought to make it. By making sure all these things are in place, we set it up so Jesus can come again. How about that? We gonna win. No matter how we get there, no matter who's leading us, no matter what they're like, no matter what they do, we ain't going to hold them accountable because they're going to help us win. Didn't the same thing happen? When we think of sports sometimes, enhancements to the body, things that help you perform a little bit better. In a culture of winning, when winning becomes the thing, people will do whatever it takes to make sure they come out on top. But today's text tells a different story. John, who was a teacher in his own right, John, who had his own disciples, this same John saw Jesus walking down the street. And when he saw Jesus walking down the street, he told his own disciples, there he is. There he is. The Messiah. He actually said, this man, he is the one that we've been waiting for. Rather than keeping his own disciples to himself, rather than saying, follow my teaching, he was willing to give way so that they can follow Christ and move away from him, which is exactly what two of the disciples did. They left him and started following Christ, and Christ noticed these two guys are following him and asked them, what do you want? And all they said was, where are you staying? He said to them, come and see. Come and see. John introduced his own disciples to Christ, stepped back so they can go and meet Christ and come and see what he was all about. Where Andrew was there and he heard Jesus talk, he spent time with him, and he was so impressed with what Jesus was saying, he went and got his older brother and said, you got to meet this guy. You got to see who he is. You got to know him like I know him because he's telling a story that seems to be the story of my life and the story of our lives together. Come and see who he is. Andrew, who quite literally was one of the two first disciples to follow Jesus, couldn't stand there and say, I'm number one. He went and got his brother and said, come and see what God is doing in the world. That's how Christian hospitality works. That's radical hospitality. It's saying, my task in this world, my job in this world, is to introduce people to the one who tells the story of our lives together and shows us what God's kingdom is all about. Come and see. Come and look. Come and experience what God is all about. So he went and got his brother, introduced his brother to Jesus, and his brother heard the words, and his brother was impressed, and then Jesus said this to his brother, I'm going to change your name to Cephas, which means Peter. And later on, we understand that Peter means the rock. And Jesus would say, upon this rock, I shall build my church. Do you think Andrew got mad? He was the first one to meet Jesus. But his brother became the rock. His brother became the rock because he introduced his brother to Jesus. A ministry of second place. A ministry that says, once I've seen the Lord, once I know how good God is, all I want to do is introduce people to this same Jesus. I'm going going to step back so that God can be number one. I'm going to step aside so that God can do what God's going to do. And I'm going to trust that when God starts doing what God's going to do, everything's going to work out for the good. It may seem that others get lifted up to other positions, but it only seems that way. When we all work together for God's good, when we all come together to introduce people to Jesus, we allow God to uplift us as we need to be uplifted so that God's work in this world can be done. Because Andrew introduced his brother to Jesus, we have the story of a man who denied Jesus 3 times and yet was forgiven. We hear the story of a man who ran away and yet still became a rock of the church. Because Andrew was willing to introduce others to Christ. He paved the way for you and I to be here 2,000 years later. And all he did was say, come and see. Come and be. Come experience what I have experienced. Come know the joy of telling the story and of having your story told by the one who knows you all together. Come and see. Celebrate. Have your name be changed. Become somebody all brand new. Because Christian hospitality, radical hospitality, introduces us to the one who makes us brand new every morning. It makes us brand new every day. When you got the excitement of meeting Jesus, when you got the glory of knowing that you're in God's company, you just want to let everybody know about it. You don't worry about who's number one anymore because God has the victory in Jesus Christ.
Amen.
You do your best work. You offer your best service. You offer your best self so that others may see what God is doing in you and want to meet that same God who made you. And then when you do that, it's amazing how grades begin to take care of themselves because the effort you put in is your best work. It's amazing how the job becomes richer because you give your best work to that job, and the next thing you know, you are rising up, even if you don't get a promotion. You're rising up, even if things don't always seem to go your way. You're rising up. And through your rising, claiming God is the reason that I woke up this morning. Christ is the reason that I have hope for my future, that I am not packed down and I'm not stuck. Because Jesus lives. Oh, I live as well. I sometimes wonder why people come to church Sunday after Sunday, preacher after preacher, sermon after sermon. Now I realize it's not because of what we as preachers do. It's not because of what the choir does. Because sometimes they on, sometimes they off. And just listening to y'all, sometimes my sermon hit it, and sometimes you just say, good to see you today, preacher. You and I, we go up and down. But God's the same today, as God was yesterday, as God will be tomorrow. God is consistent. God consistently offers us the best. God consistently loves us just as we are. God consistently offers us each new day. God consistently says, if you let my joy become your joy, you're going to have a joy the world can't take from you. God is consistent in an inconsistent world where winning really doesn't mean that much at all. There are very few people in this world who can tell you who won the Super Bowl 50 years ago. Was there a Super Bowl 50 years ago? There was one, okay. There are probably very few people who can tell you who won that Super Bowl. Some people study that stuff, they can tell you, but most folks couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you who won the Super Bowl last year. I really can't tell you who won this year. And that was just a few months ago, just a month ago. No, it was this month, wasn't it? Yeah, it was this month. But that tells us. Kansas City, thank you. Somebody knows. But that tells us that who won the Super Bowl does not save our lives. Who won the World Series can't change who we are. The only one who makes a difference today, yesterday, and tomorrow is the one we call Jesus Christ.
Amen.
So we don't live to scream Super Bowl Sunday, World Series, whatever day that might be. We live to glorify God. We live to introduce others to that same God through how we speak, how we move, how we have our being. And even though we may not be consistent in that every day, because God is the same, because God is consistent over the course of our lives, we move and live in a way that every day we get a little closer to being just like Jesus. A little closer to having that perfect love of heart, soul, and mind, where we walk as Jesus walked and have our minds and our hearts filled with the love of God in neighbor. What if you developed a ministry of second place, where your job was to introduce people to Jesus and then step back in that God gives where God's going to do? Amen. Each Sunday we open the doors of our church. We open our doors this Sunday right now, that you might be able to have your commitment to Jesus Christ in this body that we call St. Matthew's. We invite you to come to membership, but the membership is the first step to a discipleship that will change you and change the world around you. We invite you to a life of joy through struggle, hope in the midst of pain, comfort where sorrow and depression try to take hold. We offer you a life of healing, where broken bodies are mended, where lost relationships can be found, where everything becomes brand new every day. Is there anybody this morning who wants to come be a part of that life? Here at St. Matthew's Church, we invite you to come right now. Doors are open, our hearts are open. Jesus is here this morning. Come and see what he will do for you. Amen. We always have a time of prayer here at the church. We pray for those we named this morning and also for others. So if you want to have some time with Jesus just to pray, to experience God's Spirit, the altar is here, the cameras are. Come to the kneeling rail as you will. Have your own time of prayer with God. when a man came to repair our heating system last week, he had a box with a brand new part in it. He pulled that part out of the box after getting the system ready. He pulled that part out and it was broken, coming out of the box. But thanks be to God, the next day they ordered some more parts. And he got back here the next day, and here we are today. I thank you also for last Sunday, for the way we gathered together, and we're able to be flexible and still worship and praise God. That's what it's all about. Doesn't matter where we are, as long as we know that God's in our hearts, everything works out for the good. And so now, may you go back out to God's world, spreading the good news, introducing others to Jesus Christ, stepping aside and stepping back so that God can do what God is going to do. And once you do that, knowing that you are glorified by the same God who glorifies the one you bring to him. And then may God's peace be upon you. May God's face shine in your life, that you may ever give him the glory, the honor and praise. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Let the church say amen, amen, and amen. Come on, gather, let's bring the light to the world.
How's everything?